What's one regret you still have all these years later? My dad was a single father and worked his ass off to provide for me. He was a janitor at my school and I was so embarrassed by it. I was popular and my friends would make fun of him. I was 16 and begged him to quit. I told him he was embarrassing me and I hated him for it. I told him to get a real job. He just looked at me and said, "Okay, son, I'll see what I can do." He came home that night and told me he quit and was going to find another job. I was so happy and told him I was sorry for what I said. He told me he loved me and was sorry for embarrassing me. I never saw him again after that night. He was hit by a drunk driver on his way to a job interview. I didn't even cry when I found out. I was just numb. I didn't cry at his funeral either. I just stood there staring at his casket. I didn't cry until I was 18 and graduated high school. I looked around and saw all my friends with their parents taking pictures and celebrating. I went home and cried for hours. I cried because I realized I was the reason he died. I cried because I never got to tell him I loved him. I cried because I was a terrible son. I'm 32 now and I still cry about it sometimes.